We are all students of Mountain Brook Junior High and Mountain Brook High School. We are all part of New Gen Peace Builders 2021 for the Birmingham metro area. We choose to address the issue of the lack of sensitivity training to minority groups and political groups in schools through this peace project. When we imagine ourselves in the shoes of people affected by this issue, it feels like the hatred against minorities is currently being tolerated, which only promotes ideas which need to be reformed. Along with this, the minority and political groups being targeted are unable to speak up without their peers rejecting them. Our team members care about this issue because we want our generation to become more accepting and open-minded about other ideas and people different from us. We notice there is a genuine issue in how people are treated based on their race, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, and more, and we hope to reduce such intolerance of others. In high schools, discrimination is very evident. Slurs, bullying, and actions against people of different races, beliefs, sexualities, gender identities, and other topics have made the topic of sensitivity prominent. According to pacer.org, 59.5% of LGBTQ students feel unsafe at their schools. There are some organizations already dedicated to addressing the problems of cultural intolerance in both Mountain Brook and the Birmingham community. However, many people are not aware of these problems and they choose not to address them in daily life. We want to focus on and address the issues of the lack of sensitivity on problems such as racism, discrimination of LGBTQ people, political polarization, and discrimination against those of different religions within the Birmingham area. We want to bring awareness to these issues and broadcast them in digestible ways, such as a video and text, so people of all ages, from middle school to high school to beyond, will understand what is going on and how they can better improve in approaching these topics with more empathy. We will involve students and adults which wish to share their stories through text and/or video. We currently have each person's story available in both audio and written format for easy access to everyone. These stories are currently located on a blog named www.diversitytodayblog.org, which was set up by MB Listens. This blog is easily navigatable and it has a blog section where you can find all 9 stories.
We partnered with MB Listens, a nonprofit organization dedicated to advancing diversity, inclusion, and equality in Mountain Brook, and assisting us with finding people to share their stories. They have helped us set up a blog in the way that will appeal to people. We are also in touch with both the Homewood and Mountain Brook public libraries and sharing our stories with the Birmingham community in the future. To make this project happen, we needed to know how to navigate Zoom because it was our primary method of recording interviews. We turned cameras off for each person who did not want their face shown. We even recruited a former actress to speak on behalf of one person who didn't want to be seen or heard but wanted to share their story. We compiled a script for the interviews that was followed by each team member, and the team members of our group learned this skill by attending the UAB Diversities Talks on difficult conversations as well as individual research. We reached out to people in our network who were willing to speak and share their stories. We wrote transcripts for each interview and created a video compilation of all our interviews, which you will see very soon. This is a peace project because it will allow for people to confront what they have learned against minorities and different political beliefs and be able to build peace with them and learn the real stories. The type of violence addressed through this project is cultural violence because of what has been perpetuated in homogenous communities. We will know our project was successful if we can spread our message to our schools, which consist of about 2,000 people, and beyond. We want to spread our blog to as many people in the Birmingham metro area as possible, so other schools with the same problem will learn from these stories too. We will be able to see how many people have looked at the blog by looking at the statistics from WordPress. You should join us because we need assistance in sharing each person's story and continuing to take harmful rhetoric out of schools and communities. We need to continue spreading these stories we gathered for our blog, and we need more people to confront these difficult topics to teach their friends a better path of understanding. We specifically gathered people in the Birmingham metro area who are of different races, religions, sexualities, and gender identities. We also interviewed people who have had political polarization in their lives. This is attainable because we are working with our school principals as well as MB Listens in public libraries to be able to speak to people within our schools and then set up ways to reach out to people outside of the school with the use of our blog. This is relevant because of the lack of acceptance being shown in schools. More specifically, less diverse schools have more issues with accepting those unlike themselves. We spent 2 weeks gathering our interviews together, and we spent the rest of the time compiling the video, audio, and text format by May 8th, 2021 on our blog.
Self-acceptance is the hardest part of this equation.
It was just that, it was in that moment that I just hated feeling like a woman. And I know I didn't want to feel like a man, but I hated feeling like a woman.
Everything that you are saying and that you're asking yourself, keep doing that. Keep doing soul searching. Keep pushing back on things that have just been accepted as that's just how we do things, or that's just how it's always been done.
He said, I can't be your friend anymore because my husband doesn't like Black people.
Then it sort of dawns on you, this is me.
Just do it. Just tell her. I mean, you're not going to gain anything out of not telling her.
It's not about being strong.
So all of this new stuff suddenly coming in tends to scare people.
Is always evident. Disparities are always evident to me because I've seen both sides of the coin.
There is Islam is a religion that or Muslims are the followers of the religion Islam, and they submit to the oneness of God. They submit to the will of God, and this notion that there is some kind of theological fight or theological battle between Islam and the other religion, that is far from the truth.
I have an amazing social network here in Birmingham as well, so I've been extremely, very well received with my experience. And
I think it's inevitable to face hate as a queer person.
They didn't really try to hear my side of the story.
Because there's always like the, guys don't sleep in the same room as girls and that whole separation, and usually that's how it goes. But having a bisexual daughter, it's kind of hard to enforce rules like that.
Well, oftentimes people think we're strong to deal with the stuff we deal with. No, not about being strong. It's about not having a choice.
I think we need to be more accepting of everybody.
And accept people for who they are, who they identify as.
You fix it one person at a time.
To stand strong against anything like that, and one day it'll get better.
All right, thank you, Alex. All right, guys, I'm Wiley Cooper. I'm with New Gen Peace Builders Mountain Brook. I'm a freshman at the school, and now after watching that video, and thank you for those kind words. Those do mean a lot to everyone on the team. Please, if you have any questions, unmute and or put them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them. Okay, how hard was it reaching out and scheduling to interview? Okay, so for this part, I did one of the interviews, and there were some hiccups for mine, but for that one, I'm gonna have to pass that over to our main interviewers, which I think were Lily, right?
Yeah, I can kind of speak to that. It was a process. It was really nice to have Alex, who was kind of our email coordinator and everything. But we had situations where we had people get sick or just events pop up where we just kind of had to work around that. But it was actually really nice to have MB Listens partner with us. And they helped us reach a lot of people. And then a lot of our fellow people who are working with us, they had friends who have had stories that they wanted to share, and so they were able to get them involved. So together it was a team effort that went really well.
Yeah. All right. So for the next one, Amia, Ivy, what was your favorite or most impactful part of the entire project? Well, for me, it was just getting to work with these awesome people. Of course, I see them at school like every day, but it's also great to, get to know them in a different way. And Alex too has been great. It's been great getting to know him through this. He's been super helpful and a really, really good role model for it. And so for everybody else, I don't know. Well, AC, what was your favorite part of it?
Well, I did the video editing and stuff, so I got to go through each interview, and it was just incredible being able to hear each person's story. It's just each person had such a great way with words, and just getting to hear everyone tell their own story in their own different way. It was incredible.
Also, to add on, like I've never talked to people about like these issues before, and I thought it was really a good experience for me to open up my mind. Because honestly, like if you never talk about this stuff, then you don't know other people's perspectives. So it helps you to gain perspective into how other people are going through life.
Yeah. That's really well said, guys. Speaking of perspective, next question, Denise Gilmore. Did any of the interviews change your perspective personally? So for the interviews, I interviewed Ali Chinara, who's a buddy of mine who's Muslim, and my perspective on that, I went into it thinking, he goes to a good school. He's probably not going to have too many, experiences to talk about. It'll probably just be a summary of his religion. But when I went in, and he said, he specifically said that he had been approached and someone had said, and if you watch the interview, it's great. He says that someone had said that his God is fake and that his religion was not real. That really hit hard. And I was like, wow, that's whole new perspective on it. I didn't know that stuff was happening even in this community. And I think that's what the heart of diversity today is reaching out to the communities that may not have as much diversity and getting them to realize this happens even here, even if you don't realize it. So I think for sake of time, that's our last question. So thank you guys so much for listening in. Again, we're Diversity Today at Mountain Brook Junior High. That's our question and answer session.
Thank you everyone who joined. We're really proud of the work that we've done. So thank you for listening in.